Hey, it's time for another edition of Why Are You Awake? Paul Farahvar here, your host. This week we have comedian Sarah Perry, one of the greatest to do it. Make sure you follow her on Instagram if you're not already following her. If you're listening to this podcast, go over and watch it on my YouTube channel, youtube.com/Paul F. Comedy. Go to my website, paulfcomedy.com, for upcoming dates, including this weekend I'll be in Dallas at Hyenas with Dave Landau. Then next week, February 14th through the 16th, I'll be at the Improv in Schaumburg with Brett Ernst. Then I have my show Stand Up, Sit Down I host on the last 2 Mondays of every month, including February 17th and the 24th this month. And then I'll be at Hobart in Indiana with Paul Ollinger, 2 Pauls, 1 show, and then we'll be headlining Zanies that Sunday night on March 9th. I've got shows in March at Side Splitters in Tampa, McCurdy's in Sarasota, and I'll be in April again with Paul Ollinger, 2 Pauls, 1 show, in April at DC Loft. Email me if you've got questions, concerns. Actually, if you give us a review wherever you're listening or watching, I will send you one of these cool Why Are You Awake pins. They're high-end quality stuff, not the Timo stuff. That's the logo right there. You've probably seen it already. I thought I had it on, but I don't. Give us a review. Follow me on Instagram, like I said before. Follow all the comedians I have on the podcast. Review, share it with your friends, like it, comment. All that stuff helps grow the algorithm that runs our lives as comedians. Also, check out our sponsor. Hey, gang. As some of you know, I used to be a practicing lawyer in Chicago. I no longer practice, but from time to time, I need a lawyer. And when I need a lawyer, I call my friend Scott Shapiro. Scott Shapiro has been practicing law for over 25 years in Chicago. He does it all, from workers' compensation to personal injury, employment issues, and even entertainment law and contract needs. If you need a lawyer, call my friend Scott. 312-648-8800. That's 312-648-8800. Or you can email him at scott@scottshapirolegal.com. Tell him I sent you. You're welcome. Welcome to Why Are You Awake? Paul Farahvar here. This week we have one of my favorite human beings that I've known since she was 12 years old. Mm-hmm. Sarah Perry.
Mm-hmm. Long time.
Yeah. It's been hard to get you on this podcast, you know.
I know.
You forget your roots.
I'm where I came from.
You owe your whole career to me.
What? Half of it, maybe.
A long time ago, before Sarah Perry is what she is today, she was a struggling cocktail waitress at the world famous Laugh Factory. And I had a struggling little show called Drink Day Laugh. It was every Friday at the Laugh Factory. It was probably one of the best shows of all time there. Longest running show.
I agree.
And there was a decision to hire an intern because at the time it was all dudes that were producing the show, and we're like, we need to get a woman. I was against it because I don't like women. I don't think they're funny.
Right.
But I suggested a young lad that I thought was very funny named Sarah Perry. Everyone else said no. They were like, there was this other woman they wanted.
You told me that.
And she became a crack whore. And you became who you are today. So you could have been a crack whore. No, that's not true. I don't know who the other person was. But
it could have been me.
It could have been you.
Yeah.
And
you saved me.
Yeah. But no, seriously though, you were an intern on our show, and we used to fight all the time because you were 12 years old.
I know. I was 21.
You were a kid.
22.
And I was 48. Same age I've been for the last 10 years.
Same age.
I just remember you used to be so annoying sometimes.
I was.
Yeah. I was always afraid that you were going to like cancel
you.
And I was like, I'm just making sure. I was so worried to be around you.
You thought I had that power?
You did have that power. I mean, anyone has that power really in today's society.
Now you got to have solid proof for a cancellation. Really? I think so.
Okay. Well, good. There's always due process.
Yeah.
But I remember there was one time we got into a huge fight. I like wrote down all my thoughts. I'm like, oh my God, I got to make sure she doesn't fucking, I don't remember what it was, but you were like, we were all drunk at the Laugh Factory after one of the shows. And you're like, I want to do a spot. I'm like, okay, well, we'll figure it out. You're like, you don't think I'm ready. And I was like, I don't get to decide. At the time, I really didn't get to decide. It was all,
I don't remember this.
Curtis's role. And I was like, I'm sure it's gonna be fine. But you were teaming everyone against me to like
to let me in.
No, to be like, Paul said this. I think I said something, and you're like took it out of context. I'm like, we were talking about this, and Kyle Scanlon was like, Paul, she's gonna be trouble.
I was good. We had some of the best shows.
And then it became and you were a huge part of the success of that show. It was so fun. I'm bummed that we don't have it anymore.
I know.
We canceled it.
I know.
We got canceled. We did. Because of you, because of your behavior.
Mine.
No. You have been so successful lately. Things are going well. I'm so proud of you.
Aw.
I hope you don't forget me when you do get big, because I did play a little role in your success.
You did. We just went over it. Yeah.
No, it was maybe a third of it. A third of that.
Sure.
Maybe 2%. It was all you. I just helped create what was going to happen anyway.
You gave me a stepping stone.
I got you there maybe 3 days before you would have gotten there. and I always had you open and stuff. And now I'm like, just don't forget me. I want to open for you sometimes.
You did text me that the other day.
I did.
I have nothing.
Sarah Perry, you grew up. I know everything about you because you did the Singles Only podcast 7 times, I think.
A lot. Probably like 4.
I think it was 4 times.
Yeah.
One time you had a breakdown on it.
I did.
With me and Marty DeRosa.
Yeah.
That was fun.
Because it was COVID. Like a day after my breakup. It was brutal. And I didn't want to do it. And you were like, no, this is the best time to do it. And I was just like, fuck you, dude. Like, I don't think I can. And then you were like, Marty's going to be there. Like, it'll be fine. I'm like, okay. I like Marty. So, okay, we'll go. And when you guys started questioning me about the breakup and stuff, I started. It was fresh.
You had just broken up with someone, and I had the
they had broken up. They broke
it up with you.
Oh yeah.
I had the uncanny ability to find someone when they were raw for that podcast.
Yeah.
I was like, tell us how you felt, and then throw a microphone in your face. It was like right after. But it was good. Hey, man, it was a good podcast.
It was a good podcast.
Later in life, I also helped you find your husband, your future husband.
Oh, such a weird word.
I know.
That's so weird.
It's not too late to run away.
No, we put deposits down. It's too late.
We'll get into that later. But first, I want to talk about you, your history, because I don't know a little about you. I know a lot about you later in life, but you grew up in St. Louis, a suburb of St. Louis. Which one?
Chesterfield.
That's right. That's where the lady with the guns was, right?
They were in like St. Louis County, I believe. They were in like right off the highway.
The BLM movement. They were going through a town and they came out with their guns.
Yes.
Lawyers.
And Marty DeRosa texted me, I just saw your parents on TV. And I was like, that's not far off. They're not. They're 20 minutes away from my house.
Affluent suburb of St. Louis.
Yeah, and I don't like saying Chesterfield because Chesterfield, Missouri sounds like, where the fuck is that?
Yeah.
But it's
St. Louis
like,
suburb.
Yeah, it's like Peoria here or Rosemont here or something.
It's like Oak Park. What were you like as a kid? Were you obnoxious?
Yeah, I was really hyper and really like annoying when I was little.
Okay.
And then I had this really bad phase where I hated my mom when I was like
Tina.
Yeah, from like 14 to 17.
Everyone hates their mom.
No, I hated her for no reason. I was dating when I was 15, I was dating a guy that was 19.
Oh dear.
It was bad. And he was an ex-coke dealer, and my mom obviously didn't like that, but she still let me hang out with him and stuff, but we would get in fights about it, like, I'm going to see him today. No, you're not. And I was like, fuck you. You don't even get me, dude. You don't even get my life. I'm so complex.
You listen to some angst music.
Oh yeah. And I got into like metal music and stuff like that.
Metal?
Oh yeah.
Because of him?
Yeah.
Oh God. Why were you, because you have siblings. You're not like an only child or anything.
No, I have 3 sisters.
Yeah.
We're all very different. We don't look alike, and we don't have a lot in common. We get along. We all get along.
That's good.
But yeah, we're all friends. But it's
age discrepancies are pretty close too.
Yeah, I have a twin, and then I have a sister that's 9 years older than me and 5 years older than me.
So you're like only child, twin, weird, bad combination.
Yeah, but it was fun growing up with a twin. We had the same best friend, like good friends, and I always had somebody to do something with. And
that's good.
Yeah, it was fun.
Typically, comedians that on the show, we always talk about that. They're either only childs or the youngest child, but like there aren't a lot of twin comedians. Deanna Ortiz is one.
Yes,
too, right? Okay.
But me and her are the youngest together.
Okay.
So, and of the two, I am the younger one by 30 minutes. So I technically am the youngest.
Before you get to high school, were you like always like trying to get attention in classes?
I never misbehaved in school or anything like that, but I did do like theater and stuff like that, and all the plays. And then when I got into high school, I got into like the funny part of it by doing like there was like our version of Saturday Night Live, and I won for like best sketch for writing it and for performing
what was the sketch about?
It was literally like a copycat of an SNL sketch. It was Kristen Wiig when she plays that woman on the game show. Do you know what I'm talking about? It was like that. It was super fun. And then I played lacrosse too.
Right.
I was a little sporty on one side. I was 4 years varsity lacrosse member. Hell yeah, the only one to do it.
How many people are on the team? Did you get
just me?
Was your school like big enough to have a lacrosse team?
Yes, there was a junior, a freshman, and a varsity team.
Okay.
And I was the only freshman to get on varsity freshman year.
Were you that good?
I was that good.
Really?
I was really good.
Why didn't you continue with it?
I was either go to a D3 lacrosse school for that, and then what do I become, a lacrosse coach maybe? I didn't want to do that, so I knew I wanted to act and perform and stuff. So, but anyways, I would roast. I started this tradition where I asked if I could roast the seniors leaving for the year at our end of the year banquet. And for some reason, my coach was like, yeah, sure, do it. And it was like this huge hit. And I just roasted the fuck out of all the people that were leaving.
Where'd you get that from? Comedy Central?
I don't know, because I wasn't watching that. I don't think I knew at the time that it was roasting what I was doing. I think I was just like, I'm just going to do something funny for all the people leaving and make fun of them. So there was like this really short girl. I made fun of her about, I hope you go to college and I hope you reach new heights.
Oh, there you go.
Like stuff like that, like stupid stuff.
Funny for high school?
Yeah, it was funny for high school.
High school, were you drinking and doing drugs and stuff, or not really?
I was drinking a little bit and doing a little bit of pot. Yeah.
Okay. That's what you're supposed to do.
Yeah, nothing hardcore.
Were you popular then? Were you like...
It was weird because I was part of like every clique. So my sister was kind of part of the popular girls, and I knew that circle of girls through her. And then the arty, farty people, I knew them. And then the jocks, I knew them. Okay. And then like the music people, I knew like everybody. I was just kind of in my own bubble, but I wasn't in a clique, but I was friendly with all the cliques.
And were you having boyfriend other than this 19-year-old boyfriend? Did you have other boyfriends?
I did have other boyfriends. Yeah. So many dudes broke my heart. Oh my God. So many.
What was it what was your type? Were you just getting guys that would piss off your mom?
Yeah. Really? Well, one guy was really nice. One guy I broke up with, but that was when I went away to college. My like real relationships didn't happen until like college. Mm-hmm. But I remember like I asked a guy to the turnabout dance where you ask the guy, the girl asked the guy, and I like decorated his locker, and he was like, yeah, I'd love to go with you. And then later at lunch, he came up to me and he goes, actually, I'm going to go with Allie instead.
Who was Allie?
A friend of mine.
Oh,
so like just shit like that would happen where like I'm just like, what did I do wrong? Why did you even say yes to me? Oh, boys just don't get me. I'm probably gonna be gay. Ugh.
Yeah. Did you think you were gay? You were playing field hockey.
Yeah, I was playing field hockey and lacrosse. I thought about it, but I didn't do anything about that until college.
You said you were drinking stuff. What were you doing like late at night? Were you a night owl back then, or were you just kind of like...
I had a busy day going from school to lacrosse practice, so there really was no time to party or be out or be up or whatever. I have always been a night owl, though. Out of me and my four sisters, me and my oldest sister, we are the night owls, and Amy and Laura and the two in between are the early risers.
What would you do at night late when you were staying up late, though?
Read, go through my phone, the same shit I do now, really.
What about being creative, though? Were you writing?
Yeah, I would write jokes. Yeah, I'd write jokes. Yeah. Then? Oh yeah, I'd get in trouble at work and stuff where I was working at a movie theater and I was working the box office and I would write my joke notebook, and they're like, you can't do that. You had a
joke notebook?
Oh yeah.
So you knew you wanted to do this even back then?
Yeah, but like I said, I don't think I like knew it until I came here. When we were thinking about going to colleges and what we wanted to do, we did a trip to Chicago and we went to the second city and I saw the main stage and I was like, that's what I want to do. I finally like figured it. Yes. But to me, it was like, it was a sketch show. It was acting and writing in the sketches. That's what I wanted to do. And I was like, oh my God, people are doing this for like money. This is crazy. Like that. And my dad was like, yeah, I guess. Okay. And I auditioned for DePaul's acting program, didn't get in. The next day we visited Columbia and I was like, I'm in love with this place. This place is so cool and free and artsy, and like the people around me have blue hair and lip rings and they're smoking pot and they're doing art school. I just loved it. I fell in love with it. So it was a good thing that it didn't work out with DePaul.
Your parents were cool with that?
Yeah, it's very weird. And to this day, I'm like kind of bitter about it. I'm kind of like, why did you believe in me so much?
They're so supportive.
It's a little.
They used to come to your shows when you were just doing like 5-minute sets.
5-minute sets and like improv shows. They used to go to brutal improv shows. Oh my God. So
at Second City?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Looking back, I'm like, holy fuck. I can't believe they came to everything.
Yeah, they were pretty. I remember your mom being at the shows and I was like, she's not even doing a set tonight.
She's just there.
Yeah,
just
you were like doing the crowd work stuff, which is great. Yeah, that's gotta be nice to have that support.
Oh,
especially your dad, though. I would think he'd be against it.
They've never said anything to my face ever about anything.
Well, they talked to me about it.
Well, they probably did. I wonder who they've talked to or what they say.
Well, now they're probably happy. You're fucking proving yourself now, but back then,
but
you don't know.
I'm still not like I'm broke. Like I don't make a lot of money at this still. It's like, it's exhausting. I'm 10 years in. It's a lot.
You're 10 years in?
This August will be 10 years.
Oh my God.
Because I started when I was like 21 and I'll be 31 later this year.
I can't believe you're 10 years in. I just always.
Well, how many years are you?
I'll be 14 years in. I thought I had more years on you. That makes me feel better though.
Oh, good.
I didn't know that.
Glad I could do that for you.
You decided to come here and you already have a joke book. You're already writing. When you came here, you were still like partying a lot and going out and like socializing because you're still 20 years old.
Yeah, I was in college and I wanted to have that college experience, even though like it's an art school. It's not like they have like frats and stuff. But like, I would go to parties and hang out and stay up really late.
Back then you were staying up late to like make bad decisions.
Yeah.
Like hooking up with comedians and shit for a phase. I remember that.
Well, duh. That doesn't everybody?
No, I was telling you not to, I think.
You probably told me not to.
I told you on multiple occasions, stop fucking comedians.
That makes sense.
And do you listen to me?
No.
I'm like your dad at this point. I'm your comedy dad.
No, yeah, you could be.
You were partying pretty hard back then.
Yeah.
What changed?
What are you gonna?
You're
fucking?
A kid.
Yeah, come on. You're gonna ground me?
I was partying like you up until I was like 40, so it's irrelevant. I have no one to say. At some point, you stopped that.
Yeah.
And you just
took it,
buckled down. And became
way serious.
How did that happen?
I don't know. I probably had some sort of revelation. So I got the job waitressing there at Laugh Factory.
Yeah.
And I was doing the open mics. Then I started getting booked just a little bit on the shows there. And they were like, we can't have you serve here if you're also going to perform here. You can't be on both payrolls.
Really?
Which I'm told now is still a rule, but they're letting people do it. I don't know. So back in my day, it was not allowed. So I had to quit my waitressing job, which sucked because I was making so much money. I was making the most money I've ever made in my life at that job. Still to this day, they make
so much money.
It's great money. Yeah. So they were like, you can't do that anymore. You got to just be a comedian. And then I just was like, okay, then I'm just gonna like really focus on this so that I can get the shows and get paid to do it.
Yeah, but something changed in you where you were like, all right, I'm gonna start taking this seriously. Mm-hmm. And you got really good pretty quickly.
Yeah, I think so.
Were you sober for a while too? Did that have anything to do with it?
No, I don't think so because I got sober after that when I got funny, I think. Mm-hmm. But I did get really funny quick, I think, because of all the improv training that I had. A lot of it. I got that degree at Columbia and then I did all of IO. And all of Second City Conservatory. I did everything that you can do up until the point where it's like you have to make this team or this ensemble or else it's not like stand up where you can go up 4 times a night every night of the week if you want to. It's not like that. I did the conservatory and I graduated and I was like, hell yeah. And then it was like the audition for the newest main stage or whatever, and I didn't get it, and I was like, oh, okay, so what do I do now? And they're like, you can try again next year. And I'm like, what am I supposed to do for a year? So then I was like, I'll just hit up open mics while I wait for it. And then I fell in love with stand-up and just fucking hated improv all of a sudden.
They create this animosity between us, which is crazy because I started I did conservatory too.
It helps you. Like, I think it brings skills and hones your craft and Yeah,
I agree. But I think what it was I think you started hosting a lot everywhere. What I've said before, even when you were waitressing, you paid attention to the shows. Mm-hmm. Like I would remember seeing you listening.
Yes.
And a lot of the people who now do shows at Laugh Factory once they get in, they're just like, all right, I'm in. They're not trying to get better. They're just, something's happening on the stage, or like say the show's going bad and the host will be there and I'll be like, what's going on? Like, they'll just be like, oh, they suck. I'm like, well, you're the host. Why?
Yeah, make it better.
Fix it.
Yeah.
And it just, I feel like you knew what, like right away, you're like, I'm going to fucking make everything. I'm going to get better.
Yeah.
How are you doing that? What made you realize you had to do that? Because a lot of people don't do that. I do that because I have a work ethic from these law degrees. I used to be a lawyer, just so you know.
Oh my God, there are a lot of them.
Yeah, no big deal.
There are a lot. Well,
tell your fucking mom.
I think it was because I was so committed to it and I based my whole life on it. Like I went to college for it. My dad paid a lot of money for this.
Right.
Like I wanted to prove to everybody that did believe in me and didn't believe in me, like I could do this and I could be like, I'm not only going to do it, I'm going to be the best at it. And I'm going to, be on, I used to have in my notebook, in the back of my notebook, every single independent show in Chicago ever created, and I would mark them off as I was doing them. This is like my first, second, third year, and I filled the whole thing up. I did every single show that you could possibly do. I don't know. I just like, it had a lot to do with determination, getting towards this goal. A lot of like, I don't want to disappoint my parents, and a lot of like, yes, it does help a lot.
What is the goal? What is your ultimate goal?
I'd say I'm pretty close to being there. My goal was to be successful in comedy, being able to pay my bills for it. I remember I did one stand-up class at Second City, and Marty DeRosa was our sub teacher for 1 week because our other teacher wasn't there. And he was like, "Sup guys, I'm Marty. Yeah, I pay my bills with comedy. Pretty cool. Do you want to learn how to do it too?" And I was like, "Yes, teach me, Marty. Oh my God."
He's the best.
So now like saying that I pay some of my bills with comedy is just so cool. So just going up from there, anything that I could do.
Is it only stand up that you want to do?
No, I want to act so bad. I miss acting. I did a lot of it in college. I did some of it after college too. Like,
do you audition for stuff now?
I do.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like commercials and shit?
Yeah. I don't get anything. So far, I've only done self-tapes.
Okay.
I haven't been in to see anybody yet.
I just see all the tattoos. They're probably like, oh.
One of the roles I auditioned for was heavily tattooed young girl.
Oh, okay.
And I didn't get it, so I was really bummed about that.
You're not tattooed enough in that regard.
Yeah.
You're just kind of tattooed. Okay, so those are your goals. We've seen you, the drive. You said part of what you said was all the people that said you couldn't do it. Mm-hmm. Do you remember all those people that were shitty to you along the way?
Yeah, I do. They were mostly young male douchebag comedians. A lot of them like would still call me like waitress and stuff. Like they couldn't get out of their head.
Are you serious?
That I was the Laugh Factory. Yeah, because I started there as the waitress and then I became the comedian. Some people now don't know that because they're new and but back then, oh yeah, people would like.
Don't say names.
I won't say a name, and this is a comedian that I admire. But I was on a lineup with her, and she was like, "Oh, did you come to watch me at the show?" And I was like, "No, girl, I'm on the lineup." She was like, "Oh, all right." Just like she was like so shocked about it, and like, yeah.
A lot of it is an insecurity too with comics. I think that are like, ugh, it is scary to see people surpass you.
Yeah.
That started after you too.
Or after you, yes, exactly.
I think it's a painful.
It's hard.
Believe me, I feel it all the time.
Yeah.
You'll feel it one day too, kid. It's all the way it works. What about now? Let's talk about when you started becoming a comic, full-time comic. What are you doing late at night? Before you met John, your fiance, you were out partying, I feel like, all the time.
Yeah, and then I was sober for like 2.5, 3 years, and I did absolutely nothing at night. I still stayed up late, but I did, after shows, I would just come home and do nothing.
You don't write at night, do you? Like a lunatic?
No, not really. I've never written at night.
Do you listen to your sets late at night?
I do. I did. I used to, yeah.
I hate that shit.
Yeah.
People say it's a good thing. I can't do it.
It's hard to do.
Yeah.
It's pretty, I don't like listening to podcasts that I'm on either.
Oh, I never do that.
Yeah.
Except this one.
I was going to say, what?
When are you writing? When are you doing creative shit?
Usually during the day. I never sit down at like 3:00 and I'm like, I have to be funny right now. Because every time I tried that, it just was not successful.
I can't do it either.
So it's kind of like when something happens throughout the day or a lot of times in the shower because I'm just thinking about.
Do you have a shower pad?
I don't. Is that a thing?
Yeah. Tommy Brennan told me about it. I got one. Yeah. After he writes in the shower. I do too. But I come out of the shower and I write it down. But there's water.
And it won't wipe away?
No.
What?
They have them on Temu too. But the Temu one's not as good as the Amazon one.
Oh, really?
Yeah. What are you trying to say? You're shitting on Timo?
I'm shitting on Timo.
Half of this room is created by Timo.
So it'll fall apart if I just push it.
It's all fake.
Push it with my finger.
That's
just
not
a little
That's
breeze.
not true. Amazon's just as bad.
Oh yeah, it's horrible. All the corporations, everything.
All corporations are bad.
Yeah.
Except the ones that sponsor us. So you're writing whenever inspiration comes.
Yeah.
Late at night now, you're just chilling?
Just chilling. I take an after show edible or an after show shot or something, and I just shot. Yeah.
What's a shot?
A shot of.
Oh, a shot of alcohol.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know. I thought you were.
Oh, you thought I was like stabbing myself with with Ozempic. No. My after dinner shot that I have to take. No.
You wouldn't do it after dinner. You do it before dinner.
No, yeah.
A friend of mine started Ozempic.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. I'm waiting to see the side effects.
Oh, to try it?
I'm not going to do it. No.
Oh.
What are you trying to say?
I don't know. You said you're waiting to see the side effects.
Well, I want to see if, I'm at some point I might do it, but I feel like it's too good to be true. I don't.
Right.
How can you just lose weight without
doing anything?
Having any. Yeah. It's cheating.
It makes you I know a lot about it too. It makes you not hungry at all, almost nauseous. So that way, food.
Yeah.
Your portions become smaller and then you're hungry less frequently. And that's why it works. That's crazy.
Food is amazing.
It is. So I read this article where it was these people are stopping their GLP-1 shots just for the holidays. What's the risk? I'm like, why would you ever stop something just for a week just so they wanted to pig out? How did we get on this? What were we talking about? The shot. Okay, yeah.
What were you doing late at night? You were going out to shitty bars, I feel like. Any nights where you're like, I should have been home 20 hours ago? Are there any stories you could tell where you were like, why am I out? Because I've been with you at least twice where I look around the room and I'm like, I'm going home. And the last time I got blackout drunk was with you, your 4th of July party. I don't drink that often, as people know.
Yeah, you
That was the last time I drank.
You were so fun that
I know
night.
I'm fun drunk.
You were so fun.
But I went home. For me, that's like a rarity. I felt like you guys go there all the time.
We do.
Yeah.
That was a really fun night. That was probably the last time I got really fucked up too.
Really?
Yeah.
Anytime I look around the room, if there's 2 or 3 comedians that are in my age demo, I'm like, all right, I'll stick around.
But then if they're gone,
but then when they're gone, or if they're doing other things, other activities, or they're hammered and I'm hammered, I'm like, this isn't going to end well.
Yeah. Oh yeah. There's plenty of nights where I felt that for sure.
Any good stories you could tell us without naming names and incriminating yourself?
One time I got wasted and jumped into the lake naked with a guy
that
I'm still really good friends with. That was really fun. I was so drunk and high, and the cold water, it was biblical. It was I felt like I saw God when I fell into that. It was, you can't even explain it. It was the most refreshing.
Oh, you liked it?
Yes.
So it's not a regretful moment.
No, it was so life-changing. I can't explain it.
Joe Rogan talks about with the cold tubs.
So yeah, I felt like it was that.
So you should just
I think I felt, yeah.
You guys should get one, put it on your registry that you want to.
I have nothing on my registry right now, so I could, that's perfect.
What is it called?
Yeah. Are you going to get me an awesome gift?
Bath. We'll see.
Like an okay gift.
We'll see.
Are you going to give me a gift?
Yeah, I have to get you guys something.
Okay, cool.
It's in September. I got time. Who knows? We might be fighting by then.
We could be.
You were a night owl. I remember nights we went out to you had an apartment during COVID, I think. Where you were having after hours almost every night.
Yeah. Oh, the one with the porch.
Yes.
So I got dumped right at the beginning of the pandemic.
Yes.
And I was so sad and depressed. I just drank. There was nothing to do. I just drank all the time. And I didn't want to be alone at night. So I would call the most random of people, just a random group of people that I'm friends with, and invite all of them over and supply the booze and just have everybody hang out on the porch because it was warm out.
Yes.
But everything was closed,
right,
and there was nothing left to do. You probably came over a few times.
I was there a few times for that.
And it became a huge fight with my roommates, rightfully so. I was in the wrong.
They weren't comedians?
No, they were normal people. Because I think one of them still worked from home even with the pandemic closed, and the other one just wasn't a partier. And so they were pissed about the noises, and people were coming in and out of the house, strangers.
It was late nights,
It was late. Oh my God. It was like 4 or 5 a.m. when they like dissipated. So yeah, they had every right to be angry with me.
And I remember you were hooking up with multiple comedians at the time.
Probably, yeah.
And they would show up. And I think that's the only reason I came, to be like, oh, let's just see how this plays out.
With multiple of them.
I think sometimes
I was flirting with everybody. I didn't care. I was heartbroken. I was totally heartbroken. Yeah.
The way to solve a broken heart is with more cock.
Yeah. Isn't that what they say? That's that old saying.
I think so.
Yeah.
I think that's right. Your fiance stays up like crazy hours too.
Yes.
Because I was texting with him the other night.
At like 4 probably, right?
It was pretty late, yeah. He told me he goes to bed at like
7 a.m.
Yeah.
Yeah. His body and his brain just don't.
That's how I am.
He's just a total night owl. His work is freelance, so he can do it whenever he wants. Right. So he's like, why would I not stay up midnight to 7?
No one's bothering
No one's bothering me. He even said, like, you're not bothering me. No offense. And I'm like, totally. Like, I distract you or whatever. I can sleep. And then he gets to bed at like 7 in the morning and sleeps till like 2 in the afternoon.
Yeah. I've been like that a couple times. There's a few other comedians that I'll email because I don't want to wake people up. That's why I always email you.
You always email me like
because I don't want to. Oh, you get the message right at that time?
Late at night, yeah.
I assume no one checks their email late at night. That's
why I get notifications.
Really?
For it. Yeah.
That's why I don't text you.
Oh.
Well, now I'll just text you.
Yeah, just text me.
What time are you going to bed now? Because it's
on a regular night, like 2.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's not that bad.
It's not that bad, but sometimes 3, 4, depending.
And you wake up at
late.
Like 10 hours of sleep?
No, like 8 or 9. So like
that's not bad.
Noon. 8 is 2 in the morning to noon. Is that's 10 hours. Okay. Sometimes 10 hours.
What's your process then?
Right now, I'm not doing anything because I lost my job.
For people that don't understand, people are doing all these other things for comedy. When are you doing all the other shit? If it's not writing, when are you sending your avails? When are you doing your edits? All that shit? Or do you have other people do that for you?
Yes and no. John cuts a lot of my clips for me, but I edit some of them too. But he mostly does it. Yeah, I don't have a podcast or anything like that.
Why don't you have a podcast?
I don't know. Somebody. I used to when I had a friend.
Yeah.
Her name was Alana.
I did your podcast.
You did it. Lab Your Life, R.A.P. It was fun. It was like pre everyone having a podcast. We were like one of the first ones in the scene to have it and be on the Laugh Factory Network or whatever.
Right. It's still up there.
Is it?
I mean, mine is.
Oh my God. I'll have to go back and listen. Oh, hopefully I don't say anything cancelable on those.
No one cares. It was like 2015.
Yeah. It was so long.
Yeah.
I was so young.
So why don't you do another one? You and John can do one.
We've talked about it. Me and John were like, if we're going to do one, we should do one kind of like how
Tom Segura
does it, and Natasha.
Oh, her and husband do one?
Yes. And her
I didn't know that.
Yes.
Moses. There's so many podcasts I don't know about.
It's so many. That's the other reason why I don't want to do it.
Well, video ones, there aren't that many. There's video too?
No, I guess not. I guess you're right.
A lot of people.
I don't have the equipment for it. I don't have the money for it.
You guys can record it here.
Yeah? Do it in the studio?
Yeah.
Rent out some studio space?
Yeah, I got all the new finest equipment here. All from Timo.
It does look really... Even the cameras?
No, nothing's from Timo here. Actually, one of these lights is. And it's actually better than the ones that I got from like a real photo show.
That's crazy.
It's probably because it's causing cancer.
And these are from Timo too.
Those are from Timo.
That's so funny.
Those are, and the ones that I had, they were like huge. They're like good ones. They're Bose, nice brand. But when people wear them on the podcast, like you can't see their face.
They're that
like
big?
So big.
Oh my God.
These are like hideable.
Yeah.
And
these are cute.
Disposable.
Yeah.
After like 3 people that don't wash their hair, I'm like, it's gone.
I haven't washed my hair.
I can tell.
In like a week.
Yeah. Do you remember I used to be able to smell your hair and tell you guys when you smell, and then Joe Biden ruined it all?
Yes, you ruined everything for you.
That was
creep.
not creepy. It wasn't like pervy. I was just like, oh, someone didn't try today.
It was just mean. It was just a different way to be a dick.
It was just bullying.
It was just straight bullying. You're not supposed to wash your hair every day. You do know that, right?
I do. Now I know that. Of course.
Good.
What do you think? This is fucking magic?
Yeah. How does that happen?
I wash my hair once every 6 years.
Good.
What advice do you have for people that are night owls? Like, are there times where you're like, fuck, I wish I had a regular schedule or what?
I do kind of.
Why?
I don't know. It seems easier and it looks more money making to me. Money is like a really like shitty thing for me right now with being a night owl and only doing stand-up shows and not really having enough to get by or whatever. I hate it, but I compare myself to my 3 sisters all the times, and they all have normal jobs and they all have amazing houses and babies and I don't want that, but like it would be dope to like
have a nice house.
Have a fucking house? That'd be so fucking sick.
It wouldn't last.
I don't think I would last. I'm blessed in a lot of ways. I love my apartment. I love where I live.
Yeah,
I love this.
Apartment
I have a cool apartment. I love who I live with.
Your boyfriend, fiance.
And my cat.
Yeah.
And I have a great life. So I really can't complain about it. But it is difficult when like you see, especially the one sister that's my own age. You know what I mean? Because that's like, she's 30. I'm 30. My bank account should look like that.
Well, she's married too.
My life should look like that.
What does her husband do?
I asked him that over Christmas and he told me it again and I still don't understand. I was like,
I didn't know the difference between consultant
women and men?
Accountant.
What?
No. There's like Anderson Consulting and Anderson, whatever the other one is, accounting.
Accounting.
I thought consultants were all accountants, and my pledge brothers were all like, I was like, oh, you're an accountant. They're like, no, I'm a consultant. I'm like, what's numbers?
I couldn't tell you that. I couldn't even tell you.
I learned that like when I was 40.
It's numbers.
So, I mean, it is. Yeah. It's business. But
yeah. So you never wish that you had that normal.
I had that. I was
you did
lawyer.
have that. That's true. So you have. So you know both worlds.
I do. And I think also, I have a brother who's a bazillionaire neurosurgeon. Yeah. So I get it. You never would have time to like be at home and cook and stuff anyway.
No.
Like, what do you need a nice kitchen for?
I don't
cook.
I hate cooking.
You're going to travel all the time. If your comedy career happens the way it's going to happen or you want it to happen, you're never going to be home anyway. You're going to be living out of hotels.
Good point.
I like it.
Yeah.
But there are times where I'm like, oh, thank God I have my own. Like I will drive 4 hours
to come back
to
home.
sleep in my own bed.
Yeah. I do love my space. It's very important to me.
The only thing that sucks is everything like when you wake up late, you miss all especially when it's nice out. I'm like, oh, I should have enjoyed today.
Right. The sun a little bit today. Yeah.
But we get to go out and make people laugh sometimes.
That's true. No, I think about it a lot. I compare the two a lot and I always end up on this side again. So
even at your lowest of lows.
No, not at my lowest of lows. I will not lie to you.
What are the lowest of lows?
Oh man, I don't know.
Bad shows?
Yeah. One of my friends in comedy said to me the other day that she was like, you're really fucking hard on yourself. Like, I don't get it. Because I'll be like, oh, I ate the biggest dick.
That's good.
And it's like, because I have this fear because I see some people that eat a dick and like truly don't know. They truly don't know. And that's crazy to me. And I'm like, am I that person? I think that all the fucking time.
No, I think you're self-aware. I think that's what makes you so successful. I just did a show this weekend at the Laugh Factory, and there's, when you do 3 shows in a night. First show I did fine. I did great, I thought. Second show I didn't do very well. I didn't feel it. I was like, oh, the crowd sucks. Another comic went up who's newer, and I saw that person bomb. Literally bomb. I was like, oh, what'd you think of the show? Like hoping to be like, this person would say he or she bombed, and I'd be like, yeah, I did too, so don't feel bad. And the person was like, they were awesome. Yes. And I was like, you're never going to get better.
Yes.
You're never going to get better.
I've had very, very, very similar experiences.
Like I knew I bombed.
Right.
And it wasn't even, I watched it again.
But then you hear of these people that don't know. And I'm like, oh my God, is that me? Because how can they not be?
When we started, you have to go back to the first few times you do that room, like Laugh Factory or Zanies or anywhere. You think you're doing well because you're getting laughs because you've never crushed. But once you've crushed in a room, you're like, okay, that's
the level I need to be at. And then you compare every single set with that level. And if it's not even close, you're like, should I kill myself?
I don't go to kill myself, but it does make you question every decision you make.
And killing yourself.
Yeah, no, I think that's what makes you better. I honestly, I wish you taught these younger comics that look up to you to be like, pay attention to the fucking show. Because I want to say it, and I've talked to Curtis about it. I'm like, can I say anything? He's like, don't say anything.
Say something to them?
To them. Like, just be like, I want to help. Like, there's certain things that I hate that people do. I've yelled at you on stage when comedians are talking on the side.
Oh, yeah, you have.
And I'm like, Sarah, shut up. But like shit like that, it's different when you do it because you're my friend and we've been there. But like newer comics, pay attention to what's happening because you're going up next.
Right.
And you're going to fucking say the same thing I did and you look like an idiot.
Look like an idiot. That's like when I did a joke and a girl didn't pay attention to my set and immediately right after told the same joke, word for word.
Are you serious?
Yep.
Ugh. I've had situations where people are talking about the same thing and it's not working and then they still try to do their version of like someone was talking about shitting their pants at a showcase.
Sure. 3
other comics came up. I'm like, you just saw it didn't work. You thought your version is going to win this crowd over? We want to hear a shitting pants joke, but not the way that person did it.
That's so funny.
There's like a entitlement. I think once you get into a club, some people are just happy to get in and then other people like you want to get better and want this as a career. Why don't you help these people?
Why is that my responsibility, though?
Well, because some of them are people that look up to you.
If anybody wants to ask me anything, especially a woman, I will help you with anything. But I don't ever want to go up to somebody else and be like, you need my help. Because I just don't think that's true. I think everybody...
But you're in a position where people look up to you. See, I'm not. And if I do it... Especially if it's someone that's a woman, it's mansplaining.
Sure, no.
But if you do it, I think you're helping the cause.
I'll only do it to really, really close friends.
Okay, that makes sense.
Which I do have really, really close friends in comedy. If I saw something or wanted to give them a note or a different tag for something, I would want them to know. If it's somebody that I know for a fact looks up to me, I would do it. At the Laugh Factory party, someone was drunk and drunkenly told me that they really looked up to me and loved me. And I was like, wait, really? Oh, cool. I didn't know that. So like if that person,
really? Okay.
if that person were to come up to me and ask, or I saw them, he or she doing a certain whatever and it didn't work. Like what you said, the guy that bombed and was like, that was awesome.
I was like, are you fucking kidding me?
That's so weird.
Like we fucking both ate dicks.
Right. It was
yours was way worse than mine. At least I got out of it.
And at least you knew about it.
Yeah. And also like, I know I'm good enough barely good enough to like, no, okay, let me adjust.
Yeah.
When someone bombs, some people are like, good set. I'm like, don't say good set. You don't do that, do you?
No.
Okay. What do? Just turn the other way when they get off stage? It's really hard at Laugh Factory.
Or a fist bump. Just a fist bump.
Oh, yeah.
That means...
You did it. Hey.
Like we got there. We got through that. We got through that together. Pretending to be on your phone. Is that what you said? That's
I don't pretend. I'll just go to my phone.
Oh, yeah.
And I'll like look at my notes.
Right. Or just...
And then I do the fist bump. That's good too.
It's a good one.
But I'll never say good set. I feel like
what if they actually did?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
If someone crushes, I make sure they did. Or if I thought they were funny and the crowd sucked, I'll be like, dope.
That was on them. That's
them.
Yeah.
All right, Sarah. Well, you didn't really help us here today. Nothing has gotten resolved.
Fuck? Why have I been here?
We've been here too long. It took too long.
I took a $12 Uber here. Damn it.
I'll give you a ride back. I'm going that way. Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
You can drive my new car.
Okay. Wait, did I really not help at all?
No, I'm just kidding. Just fucking with you.
I'm like, now I'm feeling really paranoid.
No, for you, it's really hard to talk about because I know so much about you, but I want to make sure. Like sometimes people are like, we talked about this on Singles Only. I'm like, well, fuck, this is a different podcast, different audience.
Yeah.
So, but who knows?
Yeah.
Where can people find out more?
Sperry Comedy on everything. Instagram, Facebook, Pornhub, DoorDash.
Do you have a website?
SperryComedy.com
is it updated?
Is my website. Yeah, it is.
Okay. Thanks for nothing.
Yeah.
Thank you, Sarah. Thank you all for watching or listening to another episode of Why Are You Awake? Go to sleep.